you can probably tell, we're going to make some Christmassy stuff today, and I'm going to start off with some gift tags. So these are gift tags. So there is a slot in the back which will fit a card, like a gift card size, into it. You can also put in things like money, or you can add in like a little note. And from the designs, they are generic, but you can add names onto them, which is what I did last year for my family. So yeah, let's see how far we get.
So this is our setup on the machine, so we can fit 5 of the gift tags comfortably. It's going to take us 66 minutes. We're going to have 45 thread changes. So taking the largest hoop, which is an 8x12 inch hoop, I'm adding some wash away stabilizer, just 1 sheet, and then I'm pinning it around the edge to keep it nice and tight. First things first, we need to do the outline of the top edge. So here I'm cutting out my first lot of material, making sure that the material is big enough to cover the outlines that have been created. Now it's been stitched down, and we will trim this before we add our second material. Now the lighting is not great, however I am leaving a small bit on the bottom edge, and I'll show you why in a second. Cutting out the second lot of material, so this I'm going for a daring red. And the next step is not what you would expect for these gift tags. So as you can see, I have pinned it in the opposite direction, so I'm covering what's just been stitched. And there is a reason for this. So the machine's going to stitch a nice straight line over this red, attaching the red to the top green bit. From there, we're going to flip the material over and pin it down again. What this does is it gives us a nice, straight, clean edge, which cannot be seen when the tag is finished. It's actually quite clever. Now I did have to trim some excess material so that I could move on to these 2 that are on its side. But as you can see, I'm just doing the same here, so stitching that first line, and then it's going to stitch out the outline of the tag. From here it's going to do the pattern, and for the last tag I'm going to try to add a name. So rather than it stitching out the design, it's just going to have the letters name on it. So this stitching design is what takes the longest when making these tags. Each design on the front takes around 6 minutes to stitch each. we are now done with the front of the tag, and we're now moving on to the back. So here I'm taking that green again, and I'm making sure that it covers the entire backs of the gift tags, pinning this into place. This is going to hide our messy stitches at the back, and it's going to create a nice canvas for the back of the tags. So this is being stitched down now. Flip it over, make sure that all of our stitches are okay, and this is where we're going to create our pocket for the gift tag. So I'm taking this nice Christmassy pattern, and I'm cutting it up into large squares, folding it over. I'm going to pin it down, making sure to leave about an inch at the top, and making sure that it's definitely not going to punch any holes in my pins. So again, we're folding just to have that nice clean edge, so we're not going to have any fraying edges. Now putting it back onto the machine, it's going to do another half rectangle, securing that pocket that we've just created in place. Now that's all done, time to pull out the pins. And this is why you should always have something to pull out your pins, like some pliers, because the tops can always come off and then you're stuck. Crisis is averted. Now is the time to trim the excess material, and this does require a bit of patience and a bit of a light hand, and it's important to try and not pierce or break or cut into the stabilizer, because that's gonna make our satin stitch a little bit crazy if we pierce through it. So making sure that we have trimmed both front and back. This is going to go back onto the machine to do the satin stitch. This is the second to last step. For each tag, it takes around 5 minutes to do the satin stitch, and it is so satisfying to watch. Very last step on the machine is to stitch out the hole for the ribbon to go into. This is called an eyelet. As you can see, I did forget to put name on the bottom of this tag, so I did end up doing this again, just so that I had one example of person. Now that it is completely finished, you can see I have a cat joining me. We're taking out them pins, popping out the finished tags, and we are trimming the excess stabilizer. We're going to pierce those holes, making sure that we can put a ribbon through. And then the final step is to wash away the excess stabilizer. And as I said, you just take a bit of water, a bit of warm water, and just clean up that edge, giving it a nice finish. And that's how we make gift tags in the hoop. Here I'm just going to take some pictures and post it on social media just to try and get a couple of orders. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful and enlightening. I got this design from Sweet Pea Embroidery, one of my go-to for Christmassy ideas. They have loads of stockings, in the hoop designs, all that kind of jazz. If you find yourself coming back on the regular, consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a like so I can reach more people. I'm going to try and upload a video next week all about my Magna trip. See you then!